As word of Hamas's surprise assault on Israel began to spread across the world, leaders of a local organization were desperate to help. Entire communities in Israel were destroyed or abandoned during the sneak attack. For years, Chicago headquartered Bayit Brigade has provided homes for IDF soldiers with no family in Israel to support them. Since the start of the war, they have shifted their focus to finding homes for some of the 250,000 displaced Israelis. Hundreds of thousands forced to flee their homes as Israel came under attack.
No one liked to leave their home.
With the help of Chicago-based Bayit Brigade, Yaniv Haddad and his family are now staying at an apartment in Jerusalem.
In the first day, 10 people slept in 9 square meters until we got tired of the situation.
Founded 5 years ago in Chicago, Bayit Brigade works with Israeli organizations to place what are known as lone soldiers in affordable housing after completing their military service. Lone soldiers are members of the Israeli Defense Forces with no local family to support them. They can be new immigrants, volunteers from abroad, or Israelis estranged from their family. The nonprofit's focus changed October 7th.
After the attacks, we found ourselves in a unique position because of all the housing infrastructure that we had. We had a team on the ground of people that have a real estate company. We got contacted by someone that had a family from the South whose house was destroyed, and and they asked if we had any housing to put them in. We actually had an apartment, and we connected them, and so a light bulb went off that, hey, maybe we can act as matchmaker.
That's exactly what they've done. Teams in Chicago working with volunteers in Israel, already placing more than 300 people in safer cities throughout the country.
And it's a total grassroots effort. Our group of volunteers on the ground doesn't even have a name. There's no real name for the organization. It's just a bunch of people with the same desire to help out the families.
We had families from Ashkelon who told me, a bomb just came in my house, everything is ruined. I just have to find somewhere to stay, and I have nowhere to go to.
I'm in touch with one woman from a town called Ofakim, one of the towns that had terrorists inside of them. There were hostages taken from there. When I called her, when I first made contact with her, her voice was shaking. There were kids screaming in the background. She told me that her and her family have not left the house for a week.
Technology already in place helped with logistics.
A major tech company from Israel, Monday.com, has created a database using their platform that matches people who are looking for housing and people who are willing to host.
IDF reservist Max was supposed to relocate from Israel to Chicago the week after the Israeli-Hamas war began. Because of the special unit he is part of, we are not showing his face or using his full name.
The plan was originally to move to Chicago with my girlfriend. We're renting an apartment there, and on the events of October 7th, my team got called back up. We're in charge of ensuring the safety of any threats to IDF troops with regards to explosives.
Max is on the board of Bayit Brigade.
Help those in need. It's something that we really, we hold that close. It's a value that we as an organization really hold close to us.
The group also financed 14 families to stay at this glamping site built in a crater as they wait for housing to open up.
I've never seen the community this united. I've never seen people working harder together to try to help the people affected by this tragedy.
Their efforts are appreciated.
A huge thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Even more Palestinians have been displaced since the conflict began. Overall, a total of 1.4 million throughout the Palestinian territories are out of their homes, according to the government there. That's nearly half of Gaza's population.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.